I'm Doug Odie Slocum, the author of Violent Positivity. I've had an opportunity to do wonderful things in my career. One was to be the Director of Safety for the Air National Guard at the national level. I loved history and I loved statistics, and I was looking into, when the Guard started, they were terribly unsafe and crashed a lot of planes. At one point, though, compared to our active duty, it reached parity in the early 1990s, and since that time, actually diverged where to this day, at least last I looked, the Air National Guard is safer than the active duty counterparts, don't crash as many planes or hurt as many people. I wanted to figure out what happened, what changed. And when I did, I looked at it in the early 1990s. There was an individual named Dick Groben who had been traveling and teaching the same types of things that I was as the Director of Safety, about accountability, about culture, about leadership. So I wanted to find him and learn about this. Well, in the day of the internet, it's pretty easy to find people, but it was not easy to find Richard Dick Groben. When I finally did, he was in Arizona. I got a phone number and I got him on the phone and we started talking, and I was explaining why I was calling and about the impact of his program. I said, you know what, I would really like, next time I'm traveling, to stop in Tucson and have a conversation with you over a cup of coffee. Well, I remember what he said after that. He said, you'd better hurry up. Why is that? He goes, because I'm dying. He had a terminal disease and only had a couple months left to live. I had just had my back surgeries and I wasn't traveling at the time. So man, I just flipped the conversation at this point to be benevolent and tell him thank you so much for what you did, that he'd made such a great impact. We talked for just a little while and I ended up hanging up. A couple months later, I got the next phone call, and it was from his son, informing me that his dad had passed away. It's a sad story, but I was like, well, why are you calling me? He said that he wanted to let me know that from the time of my phone call until his dad passed away, that was almost all he could talk about. He had no idea that his life had made such an impact. He had no idea that his career had affected other people in a positive way. I was able, through my words, to be able to give that feedback to him. And it all leads back to how powerful our words are. What happened next, I really wasn't expecting at all. When his son asked me to come give the eulogy for his father in Arizona. And I did. I traveled out to Arizona and I gave the eulogy to Dick Groben, a man who I'd never even met.